Any newcomers here who have not been to any ISKCON center? No, I see all familiar faces. Before we go start our program, we will read a quote from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As soon as you begin the process of devotional service and gradually develop your Krishna consciousness, then Lord, who is sitting within your heart, He will help you. Lecture on July 18, 1966 in New York. And before moving on to the next part of the program, let's say some special prayers. We will chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for the health of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami and for the speedy recovery of our congregation members Padmaja Mataji and Raseswara Gopendra Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you.
So now we'll have to make it.
And before we, I just have few general announcements to make. We have launched a new email ID for our Interact donations, which is now donation@iskconmississauga.com. So kindly we request everybody to start using this new email, as the old one will be soon decommissioned. And also you can always reach out to the welcome desk, myself, Dharma Prabhu, or any other, even Sucharu Mataji, for any other further questions, or if you have any concerns. We have new visiting cards available for ISKCON Mississauga. Those are also something which you can keep, and we can always distribute to our friends or family. And with this, as always, December is an exciting month during this time of the year. So at ISKCON Mississauga, we have few dates to remember. So there are 2 weeks from now, December 21st, we are having a Bhagavad Gita contest for children aged 4 to 15 years. If parents have not registered, they can register with Sucharu Mataji or their Sunday school teachers. Please spread this word around. And this contest is going to be happening at the Wick Johnston Community Center. Also on December 28th, which is a Sunday, we are having New Year celebrations at ISKCON Mississauga. And this will be an extended program where there will be 1 hour of bhajan, kirtan, and special prasadam before we get into the new year. So please, everybody is welcome. Spread around the word. Bring your friends and family. And moving on to the next part now, which is going to be the Vedic discourse. Today's Vedic discourse is given by Her Grace Sucharu Padma Devi Dasi on Bhagavad Gita Chapter 3, verses 17 to 35. I welcome Her Grace Sucharu Padma Devi Dasi. Please give her a big round of applause. So let's once again give her a big round of applause and thank you, Mataji, for coming. Her Grace Sucharu Padma Devi Dasi is a disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than a decade now. Mataji has served and is serving at the ISKCON Toronto as well as in the book distribution team. She cooks for the pleasure of Sri Radha Kichar Gopinath and acts as a spiritual mentor for many inspiring devotees in the community. Mataji is also very learned in Shastras. She holds Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav degrees and gives many inspiring classes across GTA. Presently, Mataji is serving ISKCON Mississauga as one of the key members, along with her husband, His Grace Patith Pavan Prabhu, and they both are integral members of our ISKCON Mississauga community. So, thank you, Mataji, for coming today, and it's all yours now.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवराधारी जय गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनाधीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी
Krishna, thank you very much, Patith Pavan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to the Mississauga Study Feast program. Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you for giving me the opportunity today to we will be discussing on the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita Karma Yoga from text 23 to 35. We'll get started with invocation prayers, so those who know can join along. Yeah? Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjanan Shalakaya चक्षुरु उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा तदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललितान् श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome once again and thank you. We'll get started straight away. So this is talking about Karma Yoga, and just to give the overview of what is going on in this chapter. So in chapter 2, when Krishna spoke about so much in detail about the Sankhya Yoga, and then he spoke about the Karma Yoga and the Sthita Prajna, and finally Krishna says, Durahi Avaranam. So we keep the far distant all the abominable activities. And so what happens, Arjuna has a confusion now. What to do? Renunciation, that means in his understanding, renunciation means to keep all activities away and to be in a seclusion. So that's his thought process. So then Krishna explains, no, that is not what is renunciation. And he explains true renunciation means that which entails a mere abandonment of world duties. That is not what is true renunciation, but the mentality of the controllership, the mentality of the enjoyer, that has to be given up. You have to continue with your worldly duties, but that mentality has to be given up, and with the understanding that the Supreme Lord is the controller and He is the ultimate enjoyer. When you do your activities, the worldly activities, in this knowledge, in this consciousness, then that constitutes the true renunciation. And further, so that goes up to the 9th verse, and in that he says, don't do any falgu vairagya, like, no false renunciation just for the sake of it, and then again getting started. They'll be called pretenders. So the next section is how it moves from the karma kanda to the karma yogi. There is a cycle of sacrifice which was explained, and then the rungs of the ladder. It's in the same section. Then moving on to the next section, which we are currently doing, is from 17 to 35, which is Niskama Karma Yoga, setting the right example. In that there are various sections, we'll move to that, and finally in the last section it is all about lust. It is because of the lust which covers all this knowledge and we are in ignorance. So how to conquer this lust? That's the biggest enemy, and where is its place and how to conquer the lust. So this is the overview of this chapter. Going to the section that we will be discussing today, it's Niskama Karma Yoga, to set the right example. So in this, what happens, last week it was covered up to 22nd verse. The first section being a self-realized soul need not work, yet he works as an obligation with detachment. And next from 20 to 24, Krishna is giving an example. See, why they have to go, they are in the Niskama, that platform. That means they have achieved, they don't have any attachment. So why should they still continue to work? Because they need to set an example, and the best example is King Janaka. And Krishna further goes one step ahead to say, he talks about himself, he gives an example of himself, of how he sets an example. So that's where we had stopped last week. So this week, continuing with that, from text 23 onwards, and so the remaining sections are 25 to 29. A karma yogi works with detachment and doesn't disturb the ignorant men who think themselves as the doers. And 30 to 32 is working for Krishna and the results of following and not following. What will happen if you follow and what will happen if you don't follow. And finally, the last section that we will be discussing today is one should do one's own duty according to one's nature, just for the sake of purification and not take up others' duty. Right? So that is the last section that we will be covering today. So going to text 22, which was actually covered last week, Krishna is saying, I don't need to perform any duty. Why? Why is Krishna saying this? Because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is self-sufficient and there is no need for him, and he is independent, right? In Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, first verse, Janmadi yasya yata anvayat itaratas charte vijnat swarat. It says he is swarat, fully independent. When he is fully independent, what is the meaning of that? There is no other cause for him. When there is no other cause for him, does he need to depend on someone for him to become happy? Does he need to depend on someone for them to give him enjoyment? So that is the meaning. That is why it says there is no need for him to do any prescribed duties. And yet, now you see in the following verse, why he does his duty so very carefully. So he says, Yadi hi aham na varteyam jatu karmani atindrikaha mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. So what is it? Yadi aham na varteyam. If I ever fail to do what? My duties, karmani, duties. Atindrikaha, with great attention and care. So what will happen? All men will follow me. Manushya partha sarvashah. This is the reason. So what we need to understand over here, everyone are bound by the three modes of nature. Right? So everyone does these actions because of these three modes. But is Krishna bounded by these three modes? No. He is beyond the three modes. He is guna atita. Right? He is beyond these three modes. The modes cannot affect him. But why is he still doing? Just to establish the principles of religion. Whenever the principles of religion, they are broken and people are not following, as a father, say something goes wrong in a family, it is the duty of the father to set the things right again, right? Because he is the head of the family. It is his duty to see everything is going on correctly, everyone are following whatever rules has been set at home. Similarly, he is the Supreme Father. So when the Supreme Father, he has given us the Vedas, all the rules and regulations are in the Vedas, and it is a manual for the humankind, then it is our duty to follow that. And if something is broken and things are not going, he descends in this human form and sets it again. He re-establishes those religious principles. To do that, he performs his prescribed duty. So in Bhagavatam, there is a section where in the 10th canto, it comes, Narada Muni is visiting the palaces of Krishna. So he goes to different palaces. You see in one palace, Krishna is worshipping. In another palace, he is doing Sandhya Vandan. In another palace, he is sitting with one of the queens. In another palace, he is playing chess. In another palace, he is with children, playing with them. Or in another palace, he is doing charitable work, doing charity of the cows and other things. So, why is he doing? Does he really need to do this? No, but just to establish the religious principles, prescribed duties. He is showing by example that these duties have to be done. Can we go on to other examples? Does anyone give why even Rama did and what is it that Rama did that we have to follow? When Jatayu passed away, what Rama did, he did the last rites. So, is it necessary for Lord Ram to do that? But he is setting an example. So like this, we see the Lord, whenever he descends, he is performing the prescribed duties just to set an example. Why? Because everyone needs a leader, or like a mentor, someone to follow. And they are the supreme authority. When anyone who is authorized to do something, we follow that, right? That is natural. So that is why he does his duty. Next, he goes on to text 24 to say, what happens if he doesn't follow? What will happen, right? Utsidheyur imeli loka na kuryam karma chedaham. If I did not perform the prescribed duties, sankarasya, I will be the cause of creating unwanted population, right? Sankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyam imam praja. So I will be the cause of all this and I will be ruining all the peace in the society. So Krishna, first of all, he said, now why he had to do. Now we're going on to this one. If he doesn't know what will happen, he will become the cause. So it says over there, all the worlds will be put into ruination, and because all would follow my path, what will it lead to? Unwanted population, Varna Shankara. And then I will be destroying the peace of the living entities. Now, we need to understand a point. Go back to chapter 1, where Arjuna is actually discussing about this specific point, giving reason as to why he doesn't want to fight. And in that, he quotes this, Varna Shankara. If we go fight in the war, all the great personalities, the men will die, then the women will be left alone. And the women are left alone, the rogues, they can, take advantage of that, and then it will be the cause of unwanted population. But here, Krishna is refuting that point. He says, no, Arjuna, not because you're not fighting. If you fight, then you're doing the thing. He's a Kshatriya, right? Arjuna. If you don't fight, then you will be creating. He's refuting that particular point over here and saying that. So, Lord clearly says this, right? Varna Shankara, why is it created? Now, understanding that he is the Supreme Father, and when entities are misguided, the responsibility goes to the father, right? When something is not wrong in the family, children are misbehaving really very badly, the first thing they see is, who are his parents? And just by seeing the parents, they say, oh no, this child, okay, yeah. Or if the child is really behaving good, they know, because his parents are really good. So parents are setting example, right? Through parents, you can really understand how the kids are. If really something is wrong, that means they say, oh no, something is wrong with this kid. They will go complain back to the parent, to rectify. This is the same thing over here. In the material world also, when we come here, something goes wrong, the Supreme Father will be blamed. So he sets the example. He re-establishes the religious principles. So, that is the reason why he says, why he will not, if he does not follow, then what will happen. Going on to the next 3 verses, we'll be skipping the 26th verse over here, just because 26th and 29th verse are of the same theme. So what we are going to do now is the 25th, 27th and 28th. These 3 verses will cover one after the other, trying to understand the difference between the attached and the non-attached. So over here, what we understand, Text 25. Satta karmani avidvamso yata kurvanti bharata kuryat vidvams tata sattas chikeshu loka sangraham. So what is he saying? Avidvamso, that means they are ignorant.
Can't see everything.
That's okay? Okay. So in text 25, we'll understand about the persons. There are two kinds of people, Vidwan and Avidwan. One is learned and the other one is ignorant. So what happens, what will the learned people do and how will they treat the ignorant people? Right? How will they lead the ignorant people? That is what it said. So Satta Karmani Avidvamso, knowledge, but Avidvamso is ignorant. Yatha Kurvanti Bharata. Similarly, Arjuna, Kuryat Vidvams Tata Sattas. The learner will also act, but without attachment. Chikeshu Loka Sangram, to lead all the people in general. That is the reason. That is what we are doing. So what is the difference in them? You see, in Karma Kanda, people do it just because of self-interest. That's the lowest. It starts with that. You know, they do it only for sense enjoyment. They have absolutely no inclination for any spiritual understanding. Then further it comes that they have a little bit of understanding, but they are yet not able to give up that attachment, you know, that sense enjoyment. That's the next level. So what happens over there? They will follow the religious principles and do according to the scriptures, but still they are not able to give up the sense enjoyment, that propensities. The next thing is, now they are fed up, they are able to understand, but they are so much caught up that they are still not able to give, but they kind of partially, whatever they earn, some portion of it they give it to the service of the Lord, and the remaining they use for sense gratification. And going further, it comes to Niskama Karma. There, they have no any sense gratification desires, but they do only for the sake of pleasing the Lord. So these are the stages. So here, the Vidwan, that is the one who is in knowledge, how he will lead the one who is ignorant. There are various factors to be considered. What is the first point over here is desire. The desire for sense gratification is the one who is the attached worker, whereas the one who is not attached, he is a detached worker, is just only for the sake of Krishna's satisfaction. The conviction, what is about the conviction? So you see, the 27th verse is a very important verse, and most of the time it is quoted. Prakritiye kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudatma karkaham iti manyate. What is he doing over there? What is it that we are understanding in this particular verse? Karkaham iti manyate. I am the doer. That is the mentality of the person who is attached to the work. So he is thinking, I am the doer. It's a false ego. He is not thinking of anything else. That is the conviction, right, of the one who is an attached worker. He does not know. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of the false ego, thinks himself as the doer of the activities, and that are actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. So we need to understand the concept over here. See, in Bhagavad Gita there are 5 subject matters. Jivatma, Paramatma, Prakriti, then Kala and Karma. So, but the first 3 we will take over here. Jivatma. What is the only thing that is in his control? Desire. Other than desire, he doesn't have control on anything. Because he is not the controller. He has only desires. That is the minute independence given to him. Next is Paramatma. He has control of everything. He says in the 10th chapter, Aham sarvasya prabhavo, mata sarvam pravartate. Right? I am the cause for everything. Chara, achara, everything. Moving, non-moving, material, subtle, everything. He is the supreme, right? So, he is the supreme. He is the one who sanctions it. The Jivatma desires, Paramatma sanctions, and how does it take place? Through Prakriti. Through Prakriti, and Prakriti is also under whose control? Under the supreme control. Maya Yakshena Prakriti, right? This Prakriti is again under the control of the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord, not a blade of glass, moves without the sanction of the Lord. So over here, the Jivatma is still thinking, I am the doer. He takes the credit for all the deeds. That is why he is called as Vimudhatma. That is a conviction. And knowledge of the identity, does he think, I am the servant? There is no question, because he is only trying to forget the Lord. He is already forgotten, because he is thinking he is the doer and he is the enjoyer, he is the controller, like whatever we see going on in the current world. All the world leaders, we don't want to quote any name, but then world leaders are in that position. I want to do, I am the controller, I am everything, I am doing. Right? That's the mentality of the doers. And then going on to the next one, what does he engage in? His bodily, mental activity, everything. We should be dedicating it for service of Krishna, but what does he do? Everything self-centered. His family, he, himself, his family, extended family. Nationalism, altruism, that's it. So this is the mentality of the attached worker. Now moving on to who is detached worker. Tattvavidtu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayo guna guneshu vartanta iti matva sajjate. So this is what is the mentality of the detached worker. What is it? Tattvavid. Who is the Tattvavid? He is the one who knows about the absolute truth in three different phases. Can anyone name what are the three different phases? Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. The one who has this knowledge, he already knows, and now he understands his awkward position. He knows that his desire is not for sense gratification, but whatever we do should be for the satisfaction. Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. It is for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. And then he knows his identity. Jivera Swarup Krishnera Nitya Das. That the Nitya Das, we are eternally the servants of the Lord. And he is the Supreme Lord. He is the enjoyer. He is the controller. That is what the detached worker is understanding. So, does he get entangled? No. Because the activities might be the same. The actions might be the same. But the consciousness is different. This is a small story. Just very quickly I will tell. There is, for a building of a construction of a temple, the three workers, they're all working in the same temple construction. One goes to hell, one goes to heaven, and the other one goes to Vaikuntha. Why this difference? They were all in the same activities, because the one who went to hell, he stole some money which was meant for the construction of the temple. The second one, he is thinking, I'm doing this punya karma, I will enjoy later. The Lord said, okay, go enjoy. But the other one say, I'm so fortunate I got this opportunity. I want to do this as a service for the Lord. Right? So this is the difference. The difference in the consciousness. That is what makes the difference. So all these things, how they engage, what are the consequences of the knowledge, everything is discussed. This is what is the difference between the attached and detached worker.
Just move to the next.
So going back to the 26th, we discussed 25th, 27th and 28th. Now going back to the 26th verse. So we understood about this concept and now we know what are the activities to do and what we shouldn't be doing. So people in knowledge will not disturb. It says, what is it? Na buddhi bhedam. That is the next word. 26 and then 27. 26 is Na Buddhi Vedam Janayet Ajnanam Karma Sangina Joshayet Sarva Karmanam Vidwan Yukta Samacharan. Vidwan, the learned, what does he do? He does not Na Buddhi Vedam Janayet. He does not disturb the dealings of the ignorant people. Ajnanam, these are the ignorant people. Karma Sanginam, why? Because they are attached to the fruitive results. Right? Joshayet Sarva Karmanam, he engages the ignorant in various activities. How does he engage them? To Vidwan Yukta Samachara, just to set an example to them. Just to set. So what happens? Not to disturb the minds of the ignorant people, he does the prescribed duties, but without asking them to stop what they are doing, that is because they are attached, he will not ask them to stop. And by working in the spirit of devotion, he engages them in all sorts of activities. What is the best example that we can quote in this? Right? What's the best example? Our own Srila Prabhupada. When he came to the West, how are those people? Like really, they were having so much of drugs and everything, and they would be fallen on the street, on the steps. Prabhupada would cook, he would serve them, he would teach them to chant, and he said, please try and follow these 4 regulative principles. And today, those people who got attached to Prabhupada are the world leaders, leading us spiritually. This is how they do. The detached worker, they engage them. There's one person who just walked, literally he's completely in drugs, he's not even walking properly. He just carries some tissue rolls. Prabhupada, this is for you. Prabhupada accepts. He's taken care of. He's serving the great devotee, right? So this is how it's taken care of. This is how the great leaders, the spiritual masters, they take care of us. They know our mentality. They just engage us in the work. According to our mentality, they engage us in the right kind of work. It's not that, okay, you like this, they engage you in different work. They engage in the right work. You do your work according to your nature, but still you will be able to overcome it. So this is how and why we should not agitate their minds, attach to Sucharu, not engage them to stop it, engage them in the activities. Rajal Krishna. Yeah, we covered those ones. So going to the 29th verse, it's a very wonderful verse. Yeah, now he's saying, what about the devotees who are in, like learned, what will they do and how will they know it? You know, this particular verse, Prakriti Guna Sammuda, you know, you're talking of the people in ignorance, bewildered by the modes of nature. Sajjate Guna Karmasu, they are fully engaged in various material activities. Kan Akrishnan Vido Mandan, these are Mandan people. Now we spoke about the learned people, now about the ignorant people. Mandan, what do? Krishna Vin Vichalaye. So they are stressing again, because these people are in the bodily consciousness. So those who are innocent, they will accept. But those who are arrogant will not take your words. So the learned people, those who are innocent, they will engage them in the work. Those who are arrogant, they will lead them. They will not say anything to them. And I remember Vaisheshika Prabhu, when he's teaching us about the book distribution, he says, you know, you knock at the doors. There are some people who will respond, they will call you inside, they will take the books. Some people will see the books, but they will not take. But some people don't even want to open the door. Right? They say, no, we don't want books, we don't want anything. Why? So he compares them like a mango. Raw mango and a ripe mango. So raw mango, you have to leave them. By naturally, because of the sun, they will get ripe. Right? Like that raw mango, in the sense people are so ignorant that they are arrogant that they don't even want to listen to you. Can you say anything to them? No, leave them. As they go, cycle birth after the birth, the Lord will teach them, one day they will come to that. Right? So that is the difference, ripe mango and raw mango. So over here, this particular example where Prabhupada transferred the hippies into the happies, again that comes into the picture. Now, what is the reason Prabhupada gives over here in the purport very nicely? Through fruitive activities and sense gratification regulated by the Vedic rituals, one gradually elevates. So the gradual elevation is there. Those who can take it up, give it to them. Those who are arrogant, don't give it to them. It will come naturally. One day they will come to that stage. So from this, we actually move to the next section, which is all about bhakti. So long we were talking about ignorant people, learned people, ignorant people, learned people. Now Krishna finally says, enough of that. Bhakti is more than enough. If anything related to bhakti, it doesn't matter how ignorant they are. Anyone who just takes, they transcend the modes very easily. Because all the modes are under his control. So anyone takes to the path of bhakti, they can easily transcend the modes. So what is it? This particular verse, 330, it is said that is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. In the purport, Prabhupada is saying that is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. So why is it so important? If they say it of all in the verses in the 3rd chapter, this is one of the most important verse. So if everyone can just repeat, that will be nice. Mai sarvani karmani sanyas adhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva Yudhyasva vigata jvara. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your work unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claim to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. The Lord is saying, Arjuna, go to the war, fight. But what are the conditions? This Prabhupada calls, this is like a military discipline. This is a very strict verse, very difficult to follow, very difficult to apply. But yet they say this is a very important verse, right? So these are the points, discussion. What is that? Prabhupada straight away gives Bhakti Yoga over here. What is the meaning of that? Surrendering all your works to Him. Right? That was the first point. With full knowledge of me. What is that with full knowledge of me? Right? 5.29. He is the controller, He is the Bhoktaram, He is the enjoyer. That should be the knowledge. And without desires for profit. No sense gratification. It's only for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. With no claims of proprietorship. Now we all have maybe mortgages. Some of them would have been done with mortgage. If someone says that property is not yours, oh no, I'm paying the mortgage, right? That is my property. No. The understanding is, you can be the property, you're paying the tax, you're paying the mortgage. But who's the ultimate proprietor of everything is the Supreme Lord. He's the supreme proprietor of everything. That should be the mentality. No claims of property. Free from lethargy. What is this? Vigata jvara. Jvara means, we feel fever. But what kind of jvara is this? This ignorance. No, come out of that. As soon as you take to all this, you are completely out of that. How does this happen? So when Prabhupada himself is saying that this is like a military discipline, this is something that you can actually follow to the point. He says when you take to the bhakti process, everything becomes easy. When you put Krishna in the center, then everything goes fine. It naturally goes up. As soon as you take to bhakti. Adhyatma chetasa. When he says over here, Mai sarvani karmani sanyas adhyatma chetasa. What is that? One who is fully Krishna conscious and depends solely on Krishna. There are still some devotees. Not everyone are completely pure, but some devotees, no matter what happens, completely depend on the Lord. So most of them would have seen the movie Narsimdev Prahlad, right? How he completely depended on every situation with the Lord, right? That is what is Adhyatma Chetasa. Nirashi, to act a doer of the master without expecting any fruitful results. When Prabhupada said something, the disciples immediately did. Yes, anything. Prabhupada for you, anything. Completely surrender to the Guru. Completely surrender to Krishna. Then everything will go fine. What are those people now? They are the world leaders in the spiritual, leading the path for all of us conditioned souls. That's because they just follow the instructions of their spiritual master. Nirmana, nothing is mine, free from the sense of proprietorship. Vigatajvara, this feverish mentality. So what happens when you do this? The path of liberation is clear. You are free from all the bondages. So moving to the next one, when you discharge all such activities in Krishna consciousness, it is difficult to execute. This particular verse is very difficult to execute. But to give us solace, he gives us the next shloka. Yeme matam idam nityam anutishtanti manava shraddhavanto anasuyavanto mucyantepi karmabhihi. So what are the two most important things over there is faith and envy, right? So you need to have complete faith and there is should not be any envy. Shraddhavanto, complete faith. Anasuyavanto, there should not be any enmity. With this mentality when you do, what happens? The injunctions is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vedas are given by the Lord, the rules and regulations set out in the Vedas are given by the Lord. If one follows that, then no matter how educated you are, but if you don't have faith, everything becomes a zero. Right? That faith is a very important factor. Adav Shraddha. It starts with little Shraddha. And when you reach to the highest stage of perfection, that Shraddha is so thick, no one can shake you. No matter what. No one can shake you. The Pandavas, what kind of Shraddha they had? They is facing so much of problems in their life. Did they ever give up Krishna Bhakti? No. In spite of that, they continued with Krishna Bhakti because that is the ultimate perfection in life. Right? And firm faith, unable to execute all these intentions. So what are people who do not have faith and they are envious of Krishna? What is their faith? Is the next question. So going to the 32nd. Ye etad abhyasuyanto, those who are envious of me, nāgatishtanti me matam, they do not follow my injunctions. Sarvajana vimudānstan, those are completely bereft of knowledge and they are befooled. Vidhi nashtan achetasa, they are ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So those who don't have faith and they are envious of Krishna, they will be ruined. Cycle, birth after birth, they will continue the cycle of Janma and Mrityu, in different yonis, different species, according to their karmas. They will be put into the different species. Now, why do they do this? There is a punishment, but why do they do this? See, we know there is a parking lot, and if I park it over here, fine. If I don't park it over there and park it elsewhere, I'm going to get a fine. Yeah? You know that. If you know that, you will follow that. But there are people who don't follow scriptures are there. Do this. It's a manual for humankind. Bhagavad Gita is a manual for humankind. Do this, don't do this. If you do this, this is what is the result. If you don't do this, this is what will happen. But why still in spite of knowing that people don't follow, they know that there is punishment. You know that there is fine. Why you want to really jump the red signal? Just to pay the fine or something has to happen? Well, why are people doing that? They're still having, punishment, but are they not fearful of the punishment? That is Arjuna's question. So you go on to the 33rd, this one which clearly gives over there. One should do one's own duty according to one's nature for purification instead of imitating others. In that 33rd, we cannot force someone to give up the conditions and material nature, that is the material desires. Why? Even a man of knowledge, he acts according to his own nature. What is this? Sadrisham chestate swasya prakriti jnanavan api prakriti jnanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. What can repression accomplish? What is this repression? It is a psychophysical, it's a kind of a defense mechanism. You know, in the consciousness, it's a defense mechanism. They don't want it. It just blocks them completely. That is the defense mechanism that they have. So, how can you help them? Even a high education, they can be highly qualified, but no one can help them because they are not in that platform, right? So, without being in fully Krishna conscious, one should not give up one's occupational duties. Continue to do your occupational duties, but if you add a tinge of bhakti into it, everything becomes fine. So, that was the previous verse. And going to the next verse, what does the next verse say? How you can gradually purify them, the conditioned souls, just by dovetailing their activities for the Lord. And what are the stumbling blocks? Indriyarke, the senses and sense objects. Raga dvesha, these are the two things, very important, attachment and aversion. What is attachment? Bringing one's sense in contact with the sense objects. What is aversion? Hatred for those that will block that objects. You know, you have a sense gratification. Anything that for that attachment, it's a stumbling block, you don't want it, you hate it. So these two you have to keep it away. Unrestricted sense enjoyment. We have all discussed about what is the sense enjoyment, how it degrades them. So because of this, what is happening? They come under the control. When you come under the control of this, you cannot further progress. So this is the reason. In spite of this intelligence, they are forced to act because of the nature. This is the next question. After the 35th, again Arjuna will raise a question to Krishna. Oh, we know that it is sinful. Why we should still continue to do that? That question will again come. It is because of this. Life after life, so much they are used to doing the same sinful activities. How Prahlad says, Charvitanam Charvanam, chewing the chew. Life after life. It is so much of impression in the mind, it is stuck like a grease. It is not easy to take out that grease, right? So because of that, it continues. But what is the only way for us back? Now this becomes like a hopeless one, right? Oh, life after life, we are continuing with this. Then what is our only hope? Is the last verse. Never imitate. It is very dangerous to imitate others' activities. So that means Arjuna is saying, Krishna, I really don't want to fight because of all these problems. You know, when you fight, all these things happen. Can I give up? Can I go to the forest? Can I become a Brahmana? Or can I become a sannyasa? Does Krishna approve it? No, he doesn't approve it. He says, you are a Kshatriya, do your duty. Do your duty, but with what mentality? You do your duty, give the results. Don't worry about what you gain, what you lose. It is your duty, do it. Even if you are not perfect in that, just do your duty. Don't do others' duty. You might be doing others' duty more perfectly, but that duty is not meant for you. Why is all this given? Because the Lord, He says, the Varna and Ashrama, everything was formed by the Lord Himself. Why was that given? The Varnas, there are 4 Varnas and 4 Vashramas. The duties prescribed in the Vedas are according to those Varnas and Ashramas. Because it will purify. No matter in which stage you are, you will come. If you follow the rules and regulations, it purifies you and then it will lead you the perfection of life. So He says, do not give up your prescribed duty. But now, in Kali Yuga, everyone is a Sudra. Kali, Sudra, Sambhava. Then what are the duties prescribed for us? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so mercifully came down to say in Kali Yuga, what is the Yuga Dharma? Chant, Sankirtan. So, by just doing these activities, it is so merciful. Prabhupada came all the way from leaving up Vrindavan, coming to the west, only for the sake of delivering the conditioned souls. He wanted to give this Hare Krishna Mahamantra to everyone. Come out of all these conditions. Just get to bhakti. We cannot follow all the strict verses which was given. Surrender everything, you do this, you give up, no proprietorship. No, we cannot follow it easily. Yuga Dharma is Sankirtan. Do that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so merciful. He came down. He took the form of a devotee showing us how to perform that. So what is the best Yuga Dharma? is chanting the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the one, the final one, which says this day we can all go back to home, back to Godhead. So after this is the next section, which will be given in the next class. So thank you all very much. And thanks for the time, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It was a nice lecture, very engaging, and the way you explained about the 5 concepts and how we should be more conscious and difference between attachment, detachment, and how to stay focused. So a big round of applause for And moving on, I would just like to make an announcement that we have some scriptural readings and online programs going on at ISKCON Mississauga. So Omokam Prabhu conducts every weekly Srimad Bhagavatam readings Thursday from 7 p.m. Anybody is interested, you can contact Dharma Prabhu. And also there are Bhakti Vriksha programs as well as online Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada Leela Amrit classes. They are organized by Bhanuja Mataji, Sachi Mataji, the Sucharu Mataji and Dharma Prabhu. So registration is available and you can contact us for that. And lastly, I would thank all our volunteers and our sponsors. But as you know, we are growing. We have weekly expenses such as rent, prasadam, flowers, and if you would like to donate in any way, cash or kind, please let Dharma Prabhu or you can contact myself. And also this program was streamlined on YouTube. And one way you can elevate our thing is by just Google searching ISKCON Mississauga, or that also helps us a lot. And today, lastly, I would like to appreciate and thank all the devotees, the singers, pujaris, altar decorators, musicians, and kirtan warriors, cooks, microphone operators, and all those who helped us set up this room. And a big thank you to all of you coming out today, and we hope to see you again. We'll do the closing kirtan now. And yes, the most exciting part today is we are going to do a celebration, birthday celebration for His Grace Dharma Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we would like to invite you to come and forward, please. Prabhuji, yes, we always celebrate his appearance day, his birthday, which it was on December 2nd. So let us wish Prabhuji and enjoy this event celebrating his birthday. Prabhuji and Mataji, if you could come forward, please. And also there's additional celebration. We'll be celebrating Bhanuja Mataji's birthday as well. So let's give a big round of applause and welcome His Grace Dharma Prabhu and Bhanuja Mataji.
ये वाला ले आते हैं।
मम्मी जी आप खिलाओ प्रभु जी को खिलाओ मम्मी जी आप खिलाओ प्रभु जी को ओए भाई हरि बोल। I would like to get everybody's attention and give a big welcome to our first time Simrat Mataji and Sahib Prabhu and little Arthur is there to so big everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Prayers now.
Thank you very much, Sujit, and keep coming.
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे महाप्रसादे गोविंदे नमो ब्रह्मे वैष्णवे
basket ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂಗೆ